be
Yes, sir.
appears in my slide today. Yeah. Yeah. Okay,
Okay,
just
thank you,
wait.
sir.
Wait for the topics about the performance evaluation. Yeah. First, when should we use decision tree and when is applying a decision cluster more appropriate? Also, we haven't discussed about this, Ivani. We just what see the philosophy of machine learning. Yeah. Later we will discuss about that. Yeah, about the method of the machine learning. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, sir.
Yeah. Why? Okay. For also, why did you use KNN? I don't use KNN. Yeah. I just what explaining letters about the KNN. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Why not CNN? Oh, CNN. CNN is part of the neural network. Yeah. Part of the neural network. CNN.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this machine learnings, yeah, will explain, yeah, about every method, yeah, every methods, yeah, that is classified as several category, yeah, several category. Yeah. CNN typically yields better accuracy. Yes, CNN because CNN use deep learning, right? Yeah, deep learning now become popular, yeah, become very popular because uh, there are so many hidden layer, yeah, hidden layers. So CNN actually is one example, yeah, one special case of neural network with many hidden layers, yeah, many hidden layers. Usually neural networks only have one hidden layers, two hidden layers, yeah. But CNN, yeah, LTSM, yeah, long term short memory, yeah, so many hidden layers. That's why it is called deep. Why it is deep? Because it consists of maybe 10 hidden layers, yeah, etc., etc. But CNN also have this advantage, yeah. CNN also have this advantage, yeah. CNN is appropriate for what's for calculating about the image. If it is an image, yeah, image manipulation, yeah, image identification, yeah, image recognitions, yeah, everything about the image, yes, CNN can perform very well, yeah. But in other what's in other task, yeah, in other tasks, CNN is not performing very well. For example, in natural language processing, yeah, in language processing, CNN is not quite good enough. Yeah. It has to be accompanied with LTSM. Yeah. Later, I will explain about that. Yeah, later. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sir.
Mm-mm. CNN is what convolutional neural network. Yeah, convolutional. The convolutional operation, yeah, it is actually for filtering, yeah, filtering the image, yeah, for CNN. Okay. Okay. Uh, okay. So that's my answers. Yeah. So many of your questions will be answered later. Yeah, later. Because now we still only have one slide, right? We only have one slide. Yeah. In several slide, we will go to the each method of the machine learning. Yeah. Yeah, because this actually it machine learning it is suitable is for semester one actually. Our subject is semester one subject, yeah. But some of you enroll machine learning in semester three, yeah, in semester three. Yeah. So that's why yeah, you have no solid background, yeah, about the machine learning, yeah. You just know about the method, oh, this method, this method, this method, but how the method work, maybe many of you doesn't know, yeah.
Yeah.
CNN. What the difference between CNN and LSTM? Yeah, for example, what's the difference? In CNN also there's so many variety of CNN. Yeah, you know that. Like that. Yeah. So later we will discuss. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. You're most welcome. Okay. Okay. If you have question, yeah, please just interrupt me. Yeah. Just interrupt me. Don't be in the chat. Yeah. Why? Because I cannot read the chat actually. You know that my screen will be similar with your screen. What you see actually that's what I see, yeah, in the what on the screen, yeah. If any questions, I realize that if any ask question because Aziz told me, Aziz told me, sir, if any have question, yeah, like that. Yeah. So just interrupt me, yeah. Sir, I have question, yeah, like that. Or maybe if you chat, yeah, you have to say to me, yeah, sir, I have question in the chat, for example, like that, so I can see the chat. Yeah. Because my screen, yeah, is not about the Gmeet, yeah, my screen. My screen, if I explain, yeah, in PowerPoint, yeah. For example, what? Yeah, like this, yeah. It's my screen, not the Gmail screen, yeah. No notification about the chat, yeah, in here, yeah. Yeah, Aziz, yeah. How can I know that there is a chat? Cannot, right? I have to occasionally check the Gmeet, yeah. Check the Gmeet. Is there any chat? Yeah. That is what, yeah, maybe time consuming, yeah. Like, just tell me, yeah, by voice, yeah, by voice. Sir, I have question in the chat, for example. Then I will read it, yeah. Or maybe you can directly by what's saying something to me, yeah, saying question, saying everything, yeah. Don't hesitate, yeah. Don't hesitate to interrupt me. Or maybe, yeah, it is the East culture, yeah. The East culture usually, it's not very polite, yeah, to interrupt the lecturer, yeah, like that. Sundanese, yeah, especially Sundanese, Javanese, yeah, like that. Maybe in Medan, it is still okay in Medan. Is there any of you from Medan? Yeah, but East for East cultures, yeah, maybe, yeah. But it's okay for me. It's okay. Yeah, you interrupt my my lectures. Yeah, you interrupt when I explain something. It is okay. It's okay. It's not polite. You know, it is not polite. Yeah. It is okay for me. Yeah. Yeah, don't worry about the politeness. Yeah. Mm. Okay. Any other questions? No.
Sir, I think Mr. Aditya is already joined us.
Oh, Aditya already joined. Wait
Yes.
a minute. No.
Yes, sir. He has
Oh,
arrived now.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Again, you have to notify me, yeah? Because if you didn't notify me, how do I know that you already joined?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, if it is the ordinary classroom, yeah, physically classroom, yes, I know you come from the door, just like Prima previously, yeah, come. I realized it, yeah. But in the Google Meet, I didn't realize it, right? It's impossible. I realized it, right? Yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
for Aulia, sir, I just got home.
Okay, okay. So you already joined.
Yeah, already joined.
So wait a minute. Maybe this is.
Aditya Krishna present, sir.
Hmm? Wait a minute. Aditya present, yeah? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And then who? Aulia.
Aulia, sir.
Aulia Rahmah present.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any others? Any others? No? Okay. So I submit again, yeah, the realization. You can check it in the quiz. Oh, why is it error? Why it is error? I have to close this. Check again. Annual attendance. Aditya present, and then Aulia Rahma also present. Okay. Submit realization. Hopefully not error. Oh, still error. Why error, yeah?
I think you submit first.
Huh?
You cannot edit maybe.
Usually it can, yeah. Usually. I don't know.
Maybe you can create the QR. So
Mhm.
Aulia or Aditya.
Okay, QR code ya. Wait a minute. Or maybe, wait a minute. Maybe I have to refresh this. Refresh. Okay. And then I click it. Okay. And your attendance, Aditya now is present. Aulia also now is present. Yeah. Submit. Ah, success. Yeah. Success. So I have to refresh first. I have to refresh before I submit another realization. Okay, Aulia and Aditya, you already present in the
Thank you, sir.
quiz. Yeah, welcome. Okay, this is our last slide that I explained. Yeah. Okay, we continue about this. This the as I said, the variety, variety of tasks, that are suitable for supervised learning, unsupervised learning, or reinforcement learning. Yeah. Last week I already said that there are three broad categories, which is supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. Yeah. So supervised learning usually it is fit for classification and regression task. Yeah. Classification, for example, for detection, image classification, customer retention, diagnostic, etc., etc. So many here. Yeah. And also supervised learning in regression, forecasting, prediction, process optimization, new insight, etc., etc. It is just example, the categories. For unsupervised learning, it can be clustering, clustering, for example, recommended system task, for recommended system, So for example, for movie recommendation, book recommendation, automatic, targeted marketing, customer segmentation, all is the clustering task, In dimensionality reduction, big data visualization, for example, big data, there are so many attributes, right? How to minimize the attribute, but yet still effective, Meaningful conversion, structure discovery, features elicitation, and so many others. The example of reinforcement learning, it is quite appropriate, for game, for example, game AI, game AI, for robot navigation, robotic navigations usually use reinforcement learning. Game AI also usually utilizing the reinforcement learning. As I said last 2 weeks, that reinforcement learning give the score, give the score if the pet is go to the winning phase, and get the what's and not getting the reward if the pet goes to the incorrect paths, retardation, etc. So every machine learning algorithm can be categorized into 3 broad categories, which are supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Okay. Previously, you asked about the CNN, right? So CNN. CNN is categorized as supervised learning, unsupervised learning, or reinforcement learning. Which one? CNN is supervised learning.
I think it's supervisor.
Yes,
Supervised learning.
yes, that's correct. That's correct. CNN, KNN, it is categorized as supervised learning. As I said, that the task in machine learning is not only supervised learning, but you may have unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. So later we will discuss some of the algorithms that belong to supervised learning, some of the algorithms that belong to unsupervised learning, and some algorithms belong to reinforcement learning, later. Okay, any questions regarding this? Okay, so you have to take a look at which machine learning algorithm that appropriate for solving your problems. Yeah. Don't just take the machine learning algorithm randomly, randomly, because you don't know what is the difference between the machine learning algorithm. Yeah. So some of the machine learning algorithms suitable for solving a certain task. Yeah, certain task. So for example, don't use the CNN for clustering, for example. CNN cannot be used for clustering, yeah, like that. Yeah, so letters, yeah, especially the student that already now in semester 3, yeah, you have to consider, yeah, why you use this machine learning algorithm. Is it appropriate or not? Yeah. Okay, how to design a learning system? Yeah, how to design a learning systems? Yeah. So first you have to choose the training experience, yeah, because in machine learning, yeah, learning means the algorithms have learned from the experience. Yeah. The experience usually is called training data. Yeah. And then choose exactly what is to be learned. What is to be learned? What is the target of the learning process? Yeah. That is target function. Yeah. And then choose how to represent the target function. And then choose a learning algorithm to infer the target function from the experience. So you must have experience. Yeah, this experience sometimes it is belong to the training data. Yeah, training data. So the algorithms will become the learner. Yeah, the learners. The algorithms become the learner. The CNN, the KNN, etc. will become the learner. So learn from the training data and then produce the knowledge or the model. Produce the model or knowledge. Yeah. And then we use the model of the knowledge, yeah, to be used in a certain task. Yeah. And then we have to check, yeah, what is the performance element of the learner, yeah, by using the testing data. Okay. We generally assumes, yeah, that the training and the test example are independently drawn from the same overall distribution of data. Be careful, yeah. The training data, yeah, and the testing data, that has to be the same distribution, the same characteristic. Yeah. So you cannot have, for example, yeah, in one, you take a data from one company as the training data, and then you apply it in other company as the testing data. Yeah, cannot. Yeah, it cannot. Yeah. Maybe the distribution is different. Yeah, distribution, the characteristic is different. Yeah. So the training data and the testing data, it has to be from the same overall distribution of data. Yeah. It is called IID. Yeah. ID stands for independent and identically distributed. So the training data and the testing data have to be different, to be independent, but have the same distribution. The same distribution. So for example, if you want to classify, yeah, if you want to create the model for testing whether somebody has cancer or not, yeah. Whether somebody has cancer or not. Yeah. If in the training data, yeah, the probability of having cancer is 40%, yeah, and the probability of not having cancer data is 60%, so in the testing data, the distribution has to be more or less is the same. So the cancer data is around 40%, yeah, and the not cancer, yeah, is 60%. It has to be like that. Yeah, for those of you that is in semester 3, be careful, yeah, to split the training data and the testing data. It has to be in the same distribution of data. The amount is not necessary, yeah, the amounts. Not necessary, yeah. But the important one is the distribution of the data. 40%, 60% in the training data, and testing data has to be 40% and 60%. The number of data, it doesn't matter, yeah. It doesn't matter. Yeah. If examples are not independent, that it requires collective classification. There is some pre-processing that you have to do, pre-processing. If test distribution is different from the training data distribution, yeah, then you have to do transfer learning. Transfer learning. how can we do transfer learning? Later I will discuss about that. Yeah. This is just overview, overview that if the distribution of the data in the training data and the distribution of data in the testing data is different, then you must do transfer learning. Not just use the model from the training data, use it in the testing data. No, the model has to be changed. The model has to be changed by the technique called transfer learning. Okay, how to do transfer learning? You just attend my class every week. Then there will be we arrive with the slide about the transfer learning. How to do that? Understand? I love you. Okay, here's we have 10 of thousands of machine learning algorithm, hundreds new every year. So your knowledge is not only CNN, LTSM, not really like that. In CNN, there are so many variety of algorithms. Which CNN that you use? There are so many variety of CNN, for example. For LTSM, there are so variety of the LTSM. Why? Because here's 10 of thousands of machine learning algorithm. Why it becomes so big? Because there is the new variety, hundreds every year. Why there are so many machine learning algorithms every year? Why?
Maybe because the problem with must have them different solution.
Yeah.
Every problem.
Yeah, but that is not the direct. That is the direct answer, right? Like, what is why? How hundreds new every year? Because every years we have PhD students. PhD students. PhD students have to create the new algorithm. The new algorithm. Yes. If PhD students cannot create the new algorithms, then they cannot become the PhD. Like that. Yeah. So the direct answer is because so many. Usually all the new machine learning algorithms come from the PhD work, PhD work, usually. So the PhD students have to try to find the new one, the new variety, like that. So that's why we have hundreds new every year. Yeah, okay. But of course, some of the algorithms, only a few modification like that. But some algorithms proposed by the PhD students, have the big difference. Okay, so that's why it is impossible if I explain all the machine learning algorithms in the world. It's very impossible because tens of thousands. So I will explain about the representation of each type of the algorithm. Later. Okay, every machine learning algorithm has three components: representation, optimization, and evaluation. Okay, what is the representation? There are so many various function representation. Every machine learning algorithms has the its own representation. So first of all, numerical function, linear regression, neural network, support vector machine, all is based on the numerical function, including CNN. CNN is a type of neural network. LTSM as well as deep learning is the numerical function. So you have to convert the input to become numeric, to become number, to become number. So that's why neural networks, CNN, etc. It is suitable if the input is number, not the symbolic, not the text, but the symbolic. So as I explained previously, that neural network usually it is appropriate for manipulating the image, for image manipulation, for image recognition, etc. Why? Because image is actually numeric, number. What the number represent for in the image? Pixel, yes, the color of the pixel, the color of the pixel. So when you do selfie, and then you store in your mobile phone. Yeah. What is stored in the mobile phone is not your picture, no, but it's a number. Yeah. The color of each pixel, it will be stored in your mobile phone. So when the color is displayed, then it become a face. It become the scenery, yeah, etc. Why it is color that will be stored in the mobile? Why it is color that will be stored? Why? Because the image will be consumed by which part of your body? The image. Eyes, right? Yes, eyes. Yeah. The image, the one that will use the image is your eyes, right? Yeah, your eyes, and your eyes just capturing the color, right? What your eyes catch, yeah, from the word, only color, right? Yeah, like this, only colors. Where the color come from in the image? Where the color come from? Why we can see the color? Yes, from the light. From the light, and then it strike your body, and your body will reflection the light and go to the eyes, like that. So what you see your friends, yeah? What you see our friends, for example, there are so many colors, right, in your friends. For example, the skin color. There are your friends that have white colors, yeah, black colors, yeah, yellow colors, yeah, like that. What you see actually is not the real color of that human, but what you see is only the effect of the light, the effect of the light, the effect of the light. So, for example, Japanese people usually have white skin, right? Japanese people, Korean people, white skin, right? Yeah, white, yeah. Why they are white? Yeah, because if there is a light, yeah, struck to his or her skin, yeah, their skin reflecting the white color. Usually, Indonesian people like white skin, right? Usually, yeah. Is it correct? Usually, yeah. So, yes. There are so many treatment, yeah, how to make the skin become white, yeah, especially for women, right? For a woman. But as I said that what Japanese people, yeah, love dark skin instead of white skin. Yeah. Why? Yeah, because Japanese people have the white skin. It is very rare Japanese people that have dark skin. So usually the one that you think beautiful is the rare feature, right? The rare feature. We Indonesian people like white skin because usually we don't have white skin, right? But don't worry if you don't have white skin, yeah. If you're what, first of all, yeah. If you are the single male student, you try to say I love you to the female student, and the female student refuse you. I don't love you. Why you don't love me? Yeah. The female student said, because your skin color is dark. Maybe we can answer. Oh, my skin is not dark. This is because of the light. The light that reflecting by my skin is become white. Actually, no, not dark. You can say like that. So what is your real body actually? Yeah, nobody knows. We never see the real body of human in the world. What we see only the light reflected by that body. Yeah. Who know the exact color of your body? Only God, maybe. Only God. Only God. So when the light goes off, yeah, we cannot see your friend body, right? You cannot. Yeah, not the real color, right? There's only light. Yeah, only light. Oh, my friend is the white is very skin. Yeah, very smooth, yeah, very white, yeah, the white skin. Yeah, you just turn off the light. Where's the white skin? No white skin, right? Yeah, like that. So all is relative, yeah. The color is relative. Only God knows, actually. The one that you said ugly, what's bad looking face people, yeah, maybe in the real one that is good looking. Okay, yeah. So that's why numerical function, yeah. Symbolic function, the input, the process is not number. It is can be text, for example, can be text or can be other symbol. Yeah? The algorithm that works not in the numerical thing is decision tree, yeah, proportional logic, yeah, first order predicate logic, etc. Yeah. Instance-based function, yeah. Nearest neighbors, case-based, yeah. Probabilistic graphical models, yeah. Naive-based, Bayesian network, HMM, probabilistic context-free grammars, Markov networks. So this is the graphical, yeah, probabilistic graphical models. Based on the gradient descents, yeah, the gradients in mathematics, yeah. The gradients is actually what's the angle, yeah, the angle of the line, yeah, or the graphic, yeah. Perceptron, backpropagation, etc. Yeah. Or based on the dynamic programming, yeah, HMM, hidden Markov model, yeah, hidden Markov model learning, that is what's process the data in dynamic, yeah, dynamic. Divide and conquer, yeah, evolutionary computation, yeah. Maybe you heard genetic algorithm, yeah. So this is the machine learning, yeah, but it represents the evolutionary computation. Yeah. Okay, so there are so many function representation, yeah, and so many optimization algorithm. Yeah. Okay, we learn about this later, yeah, about this. Okay, for the evaluation, yeah, how to evaluate the performance of the machine learning methods, yeah. There are so many also, yeah. There are so many. We can have accuracy, yeah, accuracy. Later we'll discuss what is the accuracy means, what is the advantage of accuracy, and what is the disadvantage of accuracy. Yeah. So when you precision recall, square error, likelihood, posterior probability, cost or utility, margin, entropy, KL divergence, yeah, RUC graphic, yeah, what's so many things, yeah, so many things. F measure, yeah, etc., etc. You have also have some consideration which evaluation method that you can use. You cannot just randomly choose, oh, I want to have precision, yeah, I want to have accuracy, I want to have F measures. Every evaluation method, yeah, has its own what's characteristic, yeah. So that's why when you can use precision, when you not use precision, later I will explain about that, yeah. Where you use precision and recall, yeah. When you don't use precision and recall, yeah. Later we'll discuss about that, yeah. Okay, so actually this one, yeah, machine learning in practice, yeah. If you want to apply the machine learning, yeah, not experiment, yeah, just apply in company. You have your own company, right? Yeah, you already work, right? When you want to apply the machine learning algorithms, yeah. Okay, first you have to understand the domain, prior knowledge and goals, yeah. You have to do data integration, selection, cleaning, pre-processing, etc. Yeah. And then you have to learn the models, yeah. You have to choose the machine learning algorithm. Which machine learning algorithm appropriate, yeah, to process your data in your company, yeah. You cannot just choose randomly, yeah. Oh, because CNN is very famous, I just use CNN. Oh, cannot, yeah. Oh, because CNN the accuracy is very high, then I use CNN. Cannot be like that. You must argue with your characteristic. Why? Why? Which one that has to be considered? So please attend my class, yeah, every week, yeah. We will arrive here at the topics about which models appropriate for which one, yeah, for which task, yeah. after you applying the models, applying the machine learning algorithm, and you got the models, you have to interpret the result. You have to interpret the result. Because the important point is actually the result, right? The result, how to interpret the result. And then consolidate and deploy discovered knowledge. So discovered knowledge is the result. The result. You have to consolidate. And also exploit it. Okay, so this is the lesson learned about the learning. Learning can be viewed as using direct or indirect experience to approximate a chosen target function. So the experience come from the past. Come from the past experience. Experience can be data or can be other thing. So don't think that experience is only training data. No, but it can be not training data, just like in the game. In the game, AI game, machine learning in AI game, usually not using the training data, but use the experience, just like in the reinforcement learning algorithm. In the autonomous driving car, for example, autonomous driving car, also from the experience, the format of the experience is not the training data, but the experience itself, driving the car. Okay, function approximations can be viewed as a search through a space of hypothesis. Hypothesis means representations of function. For one of that best fit a set of training data. So actually, what searching through a space of hypothesis. There are so many hypotheses. You have to find the one that can best fit to the training data. And number 3, different learning method, different learning algorithm assume different hypothesis spaces. Assume different representative languages and or employ different search technique. Remember about this. So you have to choose correctly which machine learning algorithm that you want to use. So for student that already semester 3, you have to you have to have the arguments why you choose this machine learning algorithm. Okay, this is just history. So the history of machine learning come from 1950. So the machine learning algorithm actually is still young. Still young. It's different from the history of what's industrial engineering, for example. Industrial engineering. What is the first of industrial engineering? It comes from 16, about 16th century, 16th century, right? But machine learning starting from 1950, this one. Neural network, it is founded at 1960, The first neural network founded by people is perceptron. But in this time, the machine learning algorithm is not very popular. Not like now. This neural network, it's not popular. Why? Because neural network algorithm consuming so many computing resources. At that time, computer is still very, very, very simple. The processors is still very, very slow. So the neural network is not popular at that time. Okay, in 1970, some of the machine learning algorithm founded. Decision tree, first of all, Queensland's ID3 decision tree, founded in 1970. In 1980s, there are also so many machine learning here. But still, machine learning is not very popular at that time. The problem is computing resources. Still. In 1990s, we have data mining. Data mining is founded in 1990s. Text learning. Also image from 1990s. Reinforcement learning also founded in 1990s. Yeah. Ensembles. Ensemble means combining. Yeah, combining machine learning techniques. Yeah, is also founded in 1990. Yeah, Bayes also. Yeah, in 1992. In 2000s, yeah, we have support vector machine SVM. Yeah, graphical method. Yeah, statistical relation learning, transfer learning. Yeah. So we apply a model that comes from different training data, yeah, by using transfer learning. Yeah. Computer system applications, email management, personalized assistant, learning in robotic and vision, yeah, in 2000. In 2010, yeah, we have deep learning system, yeah. Deep learning, yeah, just like CNN, yeah, LSTM, yeah, and etc. Yeah, it comes in 2010, yeah. And starting from 2010s, yeah, the machine learning become popular. Yeah. Why? Because so many applications can be created. Yeah. So application to vision, speech, social network, learning to read, etc., etc. Yeah. Like, that's come from 2010. Now also machine learning become emerging, right? Yeah. For example, ChatGPT. Yeah. ChatGPT is very successful applications that doing machine learning using the LLM. Yeah, large language model. Large language model. The model come from machine learning. Yeah, using large testing data. Yeah, large testing data. Oh, sorry, large training data. Yeah, large training data, and then become a model. Yeah, model that applied in ChatGPT. Yeah. Okay, so ChatGPT is what's the application of machine learning in text. Yeah, in text processing. It's I think all of you already use ChatGPT, right? Yeah, ChatGPT. Also in computer vision, in computer vision, the machine learning is very, very emerging. Okay, okay, so that's all from our first slide. Yeah. Okay, I will give you the new slide. Now we will talk about the how to measures the performance of the machine learning, yeah, and also some of the algorithms in the machine learning. Wait a minute. Yes, yes, of course, yeah, of course. Okay, I will distribute it through the WhatsApp group. Yes. Okay. Wait a minute. What is the question? What question is that?
Is there a reference you can follow instead of understanding from the slides? I mean, is there a book or something?
Okay, yeah. Yes, there are so many books actually. Yeah, so many books in machine learning. Yeah. Okay. Wait a minute. Machine learning.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm joining late because I just got home from work, sir. I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. Later ya. After the class ya. Please remind me again.
okay, thank you.
Wait a minute. Machine learning method.
Is it the same slide that you already shared in the campus?
Yes. Yeah. Okay, I already distributed the slide to all of you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, welcome. Okay, if you ask the book, there are so many books, I think, in the internet, about machine learning. You know, machine learning is very popular, very popular method now, So there are so many books, in in the internet, You can ask whether the book is free, or appropriate book, There are so many, So you just in the Google's, type machine learning book, Oh, there are so many, So many this one, The machine learning, about the machine learning, The one that become the golden standard of the machine learning is from the CMU School of Computer Science, from Tom Michel, the Tom Michel. It is called the Introduction to Machine Learning, This one. This is the good one. Also, it is quite old, 1997. But Tommy Sells, try to explain, the methods, based on the philosophical thing, not based on the practical thing, So it is quite if you want to learn, you can learn it. But of course, the if you read many books, it will make you familiar, with every aspect about the machine learning. There are so many. That's why. If you want to have the free one, I think this one, this free, free PDF downloads. Also, it is quite old. You can see it, here. Or if you want to if you want to see every algorithms in machine learning, there are so many books also, So if you learn about the deep learning alone, you can have deep learning book, That's so many, deep learning book. So there are so many books now in the internet. So actually, my topics, it is I compile it from many machine learning books, So not only come from one book, one book, and then no, I got it from I compile it from many machine learning books, Because until now I cannot find the good single machine learning book. Some of the machine learning books only explain about the practical thing, How to use Python, without knowing what is inside the machine learning algorithm. Decision tree, okay, or CNN. This is how to use it in Python, use it in R, etc. Like that. And many books also stressing only in the theoretical thing, theoretical thing without explanation about why it is machine learning, etc. Like that. So until now, I cannot find the book, at least the good one, based on my opinions, based on my opinions. Maybe later I write my own book, maybe. Yeah. But usually I don't have time, to write the book, So many publisher actually offering me, for writing the book, but unfortunately I don't have time. And also, for the books, the royalty of the book is very, very small, You know how many percent the royalty of the book? Many publishers, I already compared so many publishers asked me to write the book, and they give me royalty variety between 9%, until 11%. 9% to 11% royalty. So for example, when a book, the cost of the book is what? 50,000 rupiah. So if it is 10%, I only got 5,000 per book. Yeah, bro. It's very small, right? Yeah. So the royalty now from the publisher is not promising based on the commercial. But of course, for the dedication, yes, we write the book for make so many people become have the knowledge about thing they write in the book. But based on the commercial thing, it is I think it is not appropriate for our effort to writing the book.
Maybe you can create YouTube channel.
YouTube channel. Okay. So I become the YouTuber.
Yeah.
So YouTubers have lots of royalty. Wow. Yeah. Actually, my purpose is not for royalty. Actually, of course, but because of time, Until now, I don't have time to do that, because I have to teach in Press University. I have to teach in ITB, like that. And also, I become the evaluator of the accreditation. So writing the book is not my top priority now. But letters I have to write actually. Yes, in ITB. We still in we in the same faculty. Stay, it is called stay. Sekolah Teknik Elektro dan Informatika in ITB. Yes, Budi Raharjo is one of the lecturer there. Okay, that's about the textbook. So I don't recommend any book. So but you can read any kind of book about the machine learning. Wait a minute. Okay, so this is our new slide. Here. Okay, as I explained earlier, that the machine learning algorithms can be categorized into three broad categories. Supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning, like that. Okay, before I want to explain about the evaluation first, because some of you already asked me about the evaluation on this one. Okay, maybe we go to the page 38 first. Okay. Every machine learning task has its own performance matrix evaluation. So this is in page 39. So now we will learn about the evaluation matrix for the supervised learning. For the supervised learning, from the supervised learning, the broad one, examining the performance of the machine learning algorithm in supervised machine learning method, with what is called the confusion matrix. Confusion matrix. What is the confusion matrix? Confusion matrix actually, computing, the true positive, the false negative, the false positive, and the true negative. So if I draw it, in the table, so we can have the table like this, So in the row, this is the actual class, and in the column, this predicted class, So for example, if a machine learning algorithm, predicting, with the testing data, one data is what's belong to the category C1. So we have two categories, C1 and not C1. C1 and not C1, the column representing the predicted class. So the machine learning algorithms predicting that the data is categorized as category C1. But in reality, in actual, that actually also C1, so it is compliance, the actual class and the predicted class, then it is called true positive, true positive. But if the machine algorithms, predicting that the data is C1, category C1, but actually it is not C1, then it is called false positive, false positive. If the machine learning algorithms predicting that the data is not in category C1, but actually it is C1, then it is called false negative. If the machine algorithm predicting that data is not C1 and the actual class is also not C1, then it is called true negative. So this is the confusion matrix. The confusion matrix comparing between the predicting class with the actual class. Actual class. Understood, Alfie? Maybe this is the example, the example. So for example, I want to predict, I have the company, I have the shop, for example, computer shop. I have the computer shop. I sell the computer, Whenever the customer come to my shop, for example, I want to predict whether the customer will buy the computer or not, or just looking around. Like, if I predict that the customer will buy the computers, maybe I will give the service to him or her. Maybe I will give the candy. I will give the soft drink, first of all, like that. Because later he or she will buy a computer, right? And will give me the profit, the big profit. But if I give the candy, I give the I give the soft drink to the customer, but actually customer is for just looking around, actually not intended to buy computers, then maybe I will not give the service excellent, to them. Here, for example, I'm applying the machine learning algorithm. I'm applying the machine learning algorithms, Okay, based on experience, first of all, based on the experience using the machine learning algorithm, there are 6,000, and 954, customers, that predicted by the machine algorithm as buy computers, and the actual in reality, the customer also buy computers. So buy computer equal yes, and the reality also buy computers, this one. So the true positive, the true positive is 6,954. That is true positive. But if my machine learning algorithm, predicting that 46 customer, as not buying computers, but actually that customer buying computers, the number of customers is 46, then it is called false negative. False negative. In other case, my machine learning algorithm said that the number of customers that buy computers, but actually, the customer is not buying computers, it is 412. The 412 is false positive. So if my machine learning algorithm said that buy computer equal no, and in fact, in reality, that customer is also not buying computers, the number of customers is 2,588. This is called true negative. True negative. So this is the example of the confusion matrix. Yeah. So in the training data, yeah, in the testing data, yeah, you're counting, yeah, how many customer that by predicting as buy computers, but actually not buying computers. That is true positive. You counting the numbers, and also predicted by computer equal no, but actually by computer equal yes. False negative 46. So you counting all, yeah, that is become the confusion matrix. Understand about the confusion matrix? Anybody that still not understand about this?
I'm still confused, sir,
Yeah. About what?
about how to read the confusion matrix.
Oh, okay. Okay. As I said, yeah, the machine learning algorithm, yeah, will predict, right? Will predict whether the customer that come to my store, yeah, will buy computer or not buy computer. That is my goal. My goal is to predict whether the customer that come to my shop, yeah, my computer shop, will buy computer or not buy computer. You know that a customer that come to my shop, yeah, we cannot determine, right, whether it will buy computer or not, right? Just like when we go to the store book, maybe our intention is not buying book, right? To Gramedia, for example, to Gramedia shop. Our intention is not buying the book, right? Just looking around. Is there some new books there? Yeah, for example, like that. Right? Yeah. And the one that actually the intention is buying computers, yeah, or buying book, yeah, in Gramedia, for example. So I want to predict by the machine learning algorithm. So this two column, this is the result of the prediction. The result of the prediction, these two column. Yeah, this by computer equal yes, by computer equal this prediction from the machine learning algorithm, from the computers. This predicting. Understand ya until this?
Yes.
From the this is actually from the testing data. Can be from the training data also, can be, yeah. But this is for measuring the evaluation matrix, the performance.
So the predicted class is actually the numbers that is predicted based on the training data from previous data, yes, sir.
Yeah, can be like that. Also can be from testing data.
Okay.
So this one, the true positive, the one that is here, 6,954. This is predicted as by computer, predicted by computer by the machine learning algorithm, and in fact it is correct. Predicted by computer, and it is correct. In reality, that customer buy computer. But the false positive, the one that 412 years, there are 412 customer predicted by the machine learning algorithm as buying computer. But actually not, they are not buying computers. So the prediction is wrong. The predictions from the machine algorithm said that buy computer equal yes, but actually not. This is false positive. Predicted positive, predicted buying computers, but actually false, not buying. Understand, yeah? And this one, false negative. False negative is that the machine learning algorithm predicted that the customer will buy computers, not buy computer, but actually it is buy computer. So the prediction is correct or not? The prediction not correct, right? The prediction not correct. The prediction is not by computers, but in reality by computer, that customer. The prediction is not correct. That's why it is false. False what? False negative, because not by computer. That is false negative. The true negative is that this number 2,588. There are 2,588 customers predicted by the machine learning algorithm will not buy computer. Predicted not by computer. And in reality, in actual, also the same. So the prediction is correct or not?
Correct,
The
sir.
prediction,
Correct.
yes, the prediction is correct. But not buying computer. Not buying means negative, yeah, the true negative. Understand now? Is there any other student that's still confused? Ask me, yeah. Don't pretend to be understand if you don't understand. I will explain it again if you still not understand. Anybody still not understand?
So
Mm.
from this tabel,
Mm.
so we can conclude if our machine learning or our algorithm works well if the true positive and true negative has a big number. Is it correct?
Yeah. So the ideal one, the ideal, yeah, the very ideal, yeah, the very ideal is false positive is 0 and false negative is 0. That is the ideal one. What the meaning false positive 0 and false negative 0? It means that there is no incorrect prediction. Yeah, there is no false prediction. All the prediction is correct. Predicted by computer? Yes, really it is by computers. Predicted not by computers? Yes, not by computers in actual. Like that. So the ideal one is false positive 0 and false negative 0. Understand? That is the ideal one. But it is impossible. It is impossible. Yeah.
So let's say if we found things like this like example, so we have to adjust the algorithm again,
Mm.
or how is it? Is
Yes.
there any minimum requirement that we can fulfill?
Okay. It is impossible, right, to have false positive 0 and false negative 0. Yeah, like that. But yeah, so we have to minimize. We have to minimize the false positive and the false negative. So, for example, if using one machine learning algorithms, false positive is very, very big, for example. False negative is very, very big. It can be two reasons. It can be two reasons. First, maybe the machine learning algorithm that you use is not appropriate, yeah, to solve this task, yeah, to solve this task. So you have to find another machine learning algorithm. Maybe you have to find other machine learning algorithms, yeah. Or you have to adjust, yeah, to adjust the algorithm itself, yeah. So maybe you have to adjust like that, yeah. Understand, yeah, like that. So actually, yeah, comparing machine learning algorithms, yeah, which one machine algorithm is better, yeah, based on the confusion matrix, yeah, based on the confusion matrix. If the false positive and false negative is fewer than the other machine learning algorithms, then that machine learning algorithm is better. It's better. Any other questions?
Sarila, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Actually, I just want to for your confirmation about
Yes.
the number that
Yes.
indicate here. When we are conducting machine learning, before we do the training process, we have to prepare the data set, and then
Yes.
there is a line on the code that to differentiate between the training data and the testing data.
Yes.
Is this 10,000 data here, the total of the number, is it come from the all those, or it's better from the testing, sir, in a real practice of machine learning, doing machine learning?
Computing the confusion matrix, you mean?
Yeah, in the confusion matrix here, I see the total is 10,000. Is it
Mm.
from the training and the testing data, or only for the from the testing data, sir?
Okay. Actually, yeah, the confusion matrix, yeah, this is this has to be computed from the testing data. So 10,000 data in this case, this has to be in the testing data, not in the training data.
Not combining also.
No,
Only
no.
testing data, yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
testing data. Yes,
Okay.
only in the testing
Thank
data.
you, sir.
So 10,000 means that it is from the testing data. So when you want to compare which machine learning algorithm that is better than other machine learning algorithm, you have to rely on the testing data, not from the training data. Understand, yeah? So the
Thank you, sir.
10,000
Thank you, sir.
come from testing data, like that, right?
Question, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
You said before if the result of our evaluation low, so before we change the method, it's better we adjust the algorithm.
Yes,
So the adjust the algorithm here means that we play like the change the tuning parameter,
yes,
epoch, or what else, sir?
yes,
What else we can do before we change the method? We can play to adjust the algorithm, sir.
yes, yes. So, yeah, yes. So you have to what's to fine tuning the algorithms, yeah, fine tuning the algorithms, yeah. Maybe you have to do the pre-processing first, yeah. Maybe your data set is not not balanced, imbalanced, for example. Because if your data set is imbalanced, yeah, imbalance means one of the class, yeah, is what's have so difference with the number of other class, yeah. So first of all, I want to predict whether somebody have cancer or not, yeah, cancer or not, yeah. In the training data, we have, first of all, like we have 1,000 data, 1,000 data. Among the 1,000 data in the training data, we have 900 data of the patient that has cancer. Only 1,000 data has no cancer. That is imbalance, right? Imbalance. 90% of the data cancer, and the rest, the 10% of the data not cancer. That's imbalance. So you have to adjust the data set, yeah. So the data set have balance, yeah. The training data, yeah. I mean, the training data has to be balanced. So if you want to predict whether somebody has cancer or not, yeah. So it has to be 50% have cancer, another 50% doesn't have cancer. You must have like that, yeah.
Sir, if I adjust the data set, um, let's say I still in the pre-processing step and there are few variable that give the result a null or error, and what I did, I just drop the variable. But if I have not mistake, is to make a good result, we need more complex variable. Is it correct, or is it okay if I drop the few variable? Or
Variable mean attribute. You mean attribute, yeah?
no, sir, not attribute, but
What?
um,
What the
for
meaning of
example,
variable?
for example, predicting the weather, and there are many parameter. I mean parameter, and then
What the meaning of parameters? What the meaning of parameters? Give example.
I don't know, should I say parameter or variable?
So give
Lebih
predicting
prefer,
weather.
sir.
Predicting weathers. What is the parameter? What do you mean of the parameter in predicting weather?
No, let's say I would like to predicting the weather,
Yes.
and there are few variable.
Give example. What favorable in predicting whether which what's
Let's
favorable.
say that the temperature
Temperature.
and a few factors that give impact for the climate change.
That is called attribute.
Okay,
Yeah, attribute.
attribute.
Uh-uh.
And is it
Like this,
okay
yeah.
if I make it more simple attribute, or should I make more complex attribute to give a good result, sir?
You mean something like this? Something like this?
Yeah, yeah,
Like this. Age, income,
yes,
shouldn't, everything like
yeah.
this. This is called attribute, yeah, in machine learning
Okay. If
terminology.
I drop
This is called
few of
attribute.
attribute and make it more simple, do you think is it a good decision, or let it more? I use many attributes, sir.
Yes. First, I want to answer your first question. If so many attribute here have empty empty data like this, empty data, mm, or null, yeah. If you just eliminate the data, that is the simple one. Yeah. There are so many pre-processing method, yeah, to do that. There are so many pre-processing method. One of the simplest one, yes, just eliminate. Yeah. If the data has the null or empty attribute, yeah, or empty variable, as your terminology, yeah, variable, then you just eliminate it. That is very simple. Actually, there are so many other ways, yeah, so many other methods. That is called missing attribute. Yeah. In the missing attribute, there are so many algorithms actually. For example, what? Give the average. Yeah? Get the average. So the null is replaced by the average. Yeah. Eliminating means not eliminating the attribute, but eliminating the row here. We have column and we have rows, right? Yeah. If we have so many nulls, attribute there, yeah, then don't just delete the attribute, but delete the rows, delete the data. Delete the data, not the attribute that you delete. Why? Because maybe that attribute contributing, yeah, to the performance, yeah, of the class, yeah. So for example, if you want to predict whether whether one of you can graduate it cum laude or not, yeah. And one attribute is the grade of the lecture, the grade of the grade of the subject, for example, the grade of the class. That's very important, right? To predict whether somebody can graduate on time or not, right? And because of the grade of the class is some still null, some still empty, so you just delete the attribute, yeah. It is not the wise decision. Because that attribute is very, very important, right? Yeah, very, very important. Just like, for example, yeah, I want to predict, yeah, whether a girl, yeah, what I previous example, yeah, what I mentioned, whether a girl, yeah, will be loved by Devin or not. A girl will be loved by Devin or not. Yeah. You have the attribute, for example, what? The attribute is attitude, yeah. The attitude maybe attitude is good, yeah. Attitude is bad, yeah. Always drunk, for example. Consuming what? Consuming narcotics, yeah, etc. Like that. Yeah. Attitude, yeah. But the attitude is, there are so many girls, yeah. The attitude is empty, no empty, doesn't know, yeah, not know. Right? So, okay, because we have so many nulls, so many empty cells in attitude, yeah, then you just delete the attribute attitude. That is not a good one, right? Because attitude is very important to Devin decision whether that girl will be married by Devin or not, right? Devin, are you here, Devin?
Yes, sir.
Attitude is the very important attribute or not, yeah, to determining whether you want to marry to that girl or not. Attitude.
Of course, sir.
Yes, yeah, important, right? Yeah. And then because there are so many girls we don't know the attitude, then you delete the attribute of attitude. Cannot, yeah, cannot, right? Cannot, right? Understand? Don't just simply because of what so many attribute of attitude, yeah, empty, yeah, I delete the attribute of attitude. Cannot, yeah. Because attitude contribute very, very important for Devin. So to what? To marry that girl, yeah. And then, for example, name, the attribute name, the attribute name. Oh, attribute name is very, very complete. Yeah. All has the name, right? All has a name. Oh, I include the name of the girl and I delete the attribute of attitude like that. The name is important or not for Devin decision to accept the girl to be married. Devin, the name is important or not? Name, Devin.
No, sir.
Not important, right? Yeah, not important, right? But you include it in the attribute, yeah, of the machine learning. It's not correct, right? Whether the name is Inem or what, for example. But if she is very rich, yeah, very, very beautiful, very sexy body, for example, and graduated from IR, yeah, because they feel like IR girl. Yeah. Yes, still remembers. They will accept it, right? Will accept. You know, I don't care about the name. Yeah. Whether Inam, whether Nancy, yeah, whether what other, doesn't matter. Understand, yeah?
So just delete the row, not the column, yes, sir.
That is the very simple one. Very simple one. But actually, it is not the good method of pre-processing also. No, not the good method. Yeah, no. Don't delete it. Don't delete it. Yeah. Don't delete, because delete is, yes, you can do that, but it is very, very crude method. Actually, that only what you use it for the last choice. The last choices. Yeah. The good one is not deleting the row. The good one is using the method. Yeah, using a method. What method that you will use? Just wait for my topics in the pre-processing. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Wait for my topics in machine learning class. Yeah. Later we will come to the pre-processing. I will explain later about the pre-processing for what the problem of you is missing data. Yeah? Missing data, imbalance class, yeah, etc. etc. That you have to do pre-processing. So if your machine learning algorithm is not good, yeah, maybe not because of the algorithm itself, but the pre-processing. Yeah, the pre-processing is wrong. The pre-processing that you do, maybe you don't use pre-processing, or you do the crude, yeah, the crude pre-processing, like you did, delete it, just delete, 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 so it become a few. For example, Nancy. Nancy is a good-looking girl, rich girl, from graduated from IR, yeah, international relation like that. But because there is no attitude information there, yeah, you delete it. But actually, Nancy is empty. Yes, in the attitude is empty, but actually, Nancy is the very good attitude, for example. But currently, it doesn't know. Yeah, we don't know Nancy is good attitude or not. But actually, the real one, Nancy is good. If you delete it, Devin will sad. Devin will lose the opportunity to choose Nancy as Devin wife. Yeah. Why? Because Nancy, we don't know the attitude. Yeah, we don't know the attitude. So, understand? So not good for just eliminating the row. Also not good. It can be, but not good. Yeah, like that. Yeah, you have to choose a method. What method that you choose? Please wait until we come to the topics.
Question, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir, question.
Other questions?
Yes, sir, for me.
Yeah. Yes, go ahead. if you have a question.
Speaking about grouping dataset feature or dataset attribute,
Mhm.
several dataset probably have kind of unimportant feature.
Mm.
So do we need still use that unimportant feature, or we can do like feature importance in pre-processing step, so the we can do efficiency resources.
Okay, yeah, this one. First, you can select the features, yeah, manually first, manually. If manually, you can say that this features or this attribute is unimportant, not important, just delete it. For example, yeah, in previous example, I want to find girl, yeah, to be married, to be appropriate, to become Devin's wife. Name, first of all, name. Name, yeah, based on our knowledge now, name is important or not? Yeah, not important, right? Yeah. Devin will not base the decision based on the name. So just delete it. Yeah. Just delete it. Yeah. If we already know that it is very clear, yeah, this attribute is not important, yeah, just delete it. Yeah. But sometimes, yeah, we don't know, yeah, whether these features is important or not. Sometimes what's we don't. It is not clear enough. Yeah, important or not. But if the name is very clear, it is unimportant, right? Yeah. But for example, hair color. Hair color. We don't know, right? Whether Devin will base the decision based on the hair color or not. We don't know, right? Yeah. If the attribute name, it is very clear. Yeah. It is unimportant. Yeah. But hair color, yeah, hair color maybe. Yeah. So don't if we have it is unclear, yeah, whether it is important or not. Yeah. So you have to apply the algorithm to do that. There are so many algorithms, yeah, for feature selection. Yeah, feature selection. Understand? So the guidance is if it is clear that the attribute is unimportant, you just delete it, the attribute. Yeah. But if it is not clear whether it will affecting the classification or not, yeah, then you just run the feature selection algorithm. Understand?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Understand? Yeah.
Understood, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
And for feature selection itself, include in pre-processing or
Feature selection is different, different from pre-processing. So every machine learning algorithm, not every actually, some of the machine learning algorithm already including the feature selection there. So inside the algorithm itself, it's already have the feature selection. Just like decision tree, yeah. Later I will explain about the decision tree. The decision tree algorithms, inside the decision tree algorithm, it is already including the feature selection there. But some of the algorithms, doesn't have feature selection in that one. So before we applying that machine learning algorithm, we have to apply the feature selection algorithm first. So applying feature selection algorithm, yeah. So for example, from the 20 attribute, yeah, we run the feature selection algorithms. This become 6. From 20 attribute become 6 attribute. Then after, so then the 6 attribute, yeah, that will go to the machine learning algorithm. But for the decision tree, yeah, the feature selection algorithm in already there. So you just give the 20 attribute to the decision tree algorithm. The decision tree will find the important features by itself. So it depends on the machine learning algorithm. So as I said, you have to understand the machine learning algorithm before you apply it. Yeah. Other questions? No? Okay. So this is the confusion matrix. Confusion matrix. Okay. So this is the confusion matrix. Yeah, this the column is the predicted, and the row is for the actual. Yeah, you have TP true positive, false negative, false positive, true negative. Okay, so based on the confusion matrix, yeah, we can draw some of the performance evaluation matrix, yeah, other, yeah. So for example, the accuracy, yeah. The accuracy, yeah, come from the confusion matrix, yeah, by the formula like this, yeah. The true positive. Can you see my cursor?
Yes.
Yes, okay. The true positive, the number of true positive data plus the number of true negative data divided by all the data. That is called accuracy. Understand? So in our case here, in our example, yeah, the accuracy is that the true positive, the number of true positive data, which is 6,954, plus the true negative data. The true negative data is 2,588 divided by all data. All data is 10,000. That is the accuracy. Understand, yeah? The accuracy. So every performance evaluation matrix usually come from the confusion matrix. This one. But you have to remember, yeah, when you can use accuracy, when you don't, it's better not to use accuracy. Don't just, oh, accuracy is very important. Accuracy, yeah. You must see your data, yeah. You must see your data. So, for example, if your training data, yeah, is not imbalanced, the class is not imbalanced, yeah, don't use the accuracy. Don't use the accuracy. Yeah, never use accuracy if your training data class is imbalanced. Yeah, don't. Yeah.
So does it mean it's possible for us to use imbalanced training data?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, but it is imbalanced data is not good actually. It's not good, but still can be used. But if you use the class imbalance data, don't use accuracy as the performance evaluation matrix. Don't use it. Class imbalance data is not good. Yeah, it's not good. You must do pre-processing to make the training data become balanced. Yeah, become balanced. But it doesn't necessarily that we cannot apply the machine learning algorithm if the data is imbalanced. No, you still can use it. Yeah. But for matrix evaluation, don't use accuracy. Why? What is the reason? Why, if the class imbalance, accuracy, you cannot use accuracy as the performance evaluation matrix? Why? Hmm. So this one, for example, maybe I will explain. So like this, yeah. If your training data, consists of 90% of class cancer, ya, cancer, and 10% of class no cancer, ya. Yeah, like that, yeah. and the machine learning algorithm produce the rule, the rule flexible market, assign in the testing data, assign all the data to become cancer. The machine algorithm, for example, produce the dumb. This very dumb, right? The rule. Very dumb, right? Yeah. Very stupid, the rules. No rule at all, right? Just if you have testing data, just say this is cancer, this cancer, this cancer, this cancer, like that. Yeah, that is not the good rule, right? Very very dumb. The machine learning, dumb machine learning method. Like that. Okay. What is the accuracy? If you run this rule to the testing data, what will be the accuracy?
High accuracy, sir.
What?
High accuracy.
Yeah. What is the number of the accuracy number?
Probably 90%, but it's
90%,
not
right? Yes, 90%.
representative of the base model.
Yeah, the accuracy will be 90%, right? Like that. So it is very good, right? Very, very good machine learning algorithm. Conclusion will be like this, right? Conclusion. You do the thesis, for example, like this. Yeah. Conclusion. It is a very, very good machine learning algorithm. But actually, it is dumb algorithm, right? Nothing. Just the rule is that one. That is right. Just like you have the letters, for example. I have the midterm test, but multiple choice, yeah, multiple choice, yeah, multiple choice. I have, for example, 100 or maybe 10 question, multiple choice, yeah, 9 question. The answer is A, multiple choice. One question, the answer is B, C, first of all, like this. Very, very imbalanced, right? Imbalance. Aziz, for example, when doing midterm test, I have so busy. I have busy. What? I cannot learn the materials of the machine learning because I'm very very busy. Yeah, like like that. But I have to do the midterm test. And Aziz maybe instead of empty answers, just guess, A. All is A, like that. Yeah, because instead of just empty, I just choose randomly lah. A, all is A, like that. Aziz that never study because busy, never study machine learning, just guess, guess. All the answers is A. What is the grade of Aziz? 90, right? Yeah, 90. Oh, Aziz got A, maybe A++. Yeah, but Aziz never study, just guessing. The midterm test is 2 hours. Yeah, Aziz friend is sir, 2 hours is not enough. Sir, 2 hours is not enough. Aziz just 5 minutes already, already submit. Sir, already. Just guessing A, the multiple choice, and the grade is 90, right? Is it good that I give Aziz A in this case? No, right? Aziz never learns. First of all, what is the accuracy? A, blah, 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 B, blah, blah, C, blah, blah. Aziz doesn't understand what is accuracy. I forget. I just choose randomly A. Problem number two, yeah, what is the difference between reinforcement learning and other type of learning? A, choice A is this, choice B is this, choice C is this. Aziz, what is reinforcement learning? Yeah, I never heard about that. At that time, I'm absent. Yeah, I was absent, yeah, when Cyrilla explained it. I just randomly choose A. Yeah, but because the answer is not imbalanced, yeah, Aziz get 90, get A, which is not correct, right? Aziz never learns, yeah, not get A. It has to get E, for example, yeah. What's not pass? Understand all of you? So that's why accuracy, yeah, you cannot use accuracy if the data is imbalance class, like that. Because it is possible, yeah, possible or not, yeah, like possible that the dumb machine learning will get the accuracy 90%. Understand all of you?
Please excuse me, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
So yeah, so the composition for each class must be balanced, right?
Yes.
How about the data set for testing, sir? Better
Mhm.
from training data or from external data sets, sir?
The training data has to be balanced. The training data has to be balanced, right? And the testing data, as I said, the testing data must have the same distribution with the training data. Yeah. If not, then you have to do transfer learning. So when in the training data, 90% cancer and 10% is not cancer, in the testing data also have to be like that. 90% cancer, 10% also what's not cancer really. So if the training data imbalance, then the testing data will be imbalanced. But if the training data is balanced, the testing data will be balanced because the distribution has to be the same, right? Yeah. Understand ya?
Also for the testing data, is it better from the training data, sir?
No,
Not from the external data?
cannot be the same. No. The testing data cannot be the same as the training data or cannot be part of the training data. No. It has to be outside the training data. It has to be.
Okay.
But it has to be in the same distribution. The distribution, remember, the one that has to be the same is the distribution, not the data itself. The data in training data and in the testing data has to be different. The data in the testing data must be never used in the training data, must be the new one, not being part of the training data, cannot. Understand? The data itself
Yes, sir.
cannot be the same, but the distribution of the testing data and training data has to be the same.
Okay, understood, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're most welcome.
Sir, sorry
Yes.
for interrupting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay. Would like to ask about the content on slide 5 and 6. How do we determine the percentage for training and testing data? As commonly practice is either 18% for training and 20% for testing, or 50% for both. Are this the only method for splitting data, sir?
Actually, there is no rules. Yeah, there is no rules. Yeah, how many percent in training data, how many percent in testing data? No rules. Yeah, no rules actually. Yeah. But yeah, the rule is that yeah, generally in machine learning algorithm, it has to have enough data. You know that the more training data, the better the machine learning performance. Generally. In all machine learning algorithms, the more training data, the better the performance will be. CNN Yes, the more training data, the better. All of the machine learning algorithm. So the problem is not the what's the percentage of training data and testing data. The distribution has to be the same. The distribution has to be the same. Distribution, yeah. But yeah, the important point is that yeah, with that training data, is it already enough to the machine learning algorithms to have the better performance, to have the best performance? Because one of the when you get the bad result, yeah, when you test the machine learning algorithms in the testing data, all the result is not good. Yeah. One of the reasons, not because of the algorithm itself, no, because your training data is too small. Can be. The training data is too small. So the important point is the training data must be enough. The amount of training data must be enough to have the good performance of machine learning. Understand?
Yes, understand. Sir, thank you.
Yeah, the problem is that not how many percent is the data training, how many percent is the testing data. Usually, the testing data is fewer than the training data. Why it is fewer? Because we need many training data. Many training data. Understand? The machine learning algorithm just like human learning. When the human learn, yeah, the what's the human have to study with what long time, right? Yeah, it's better if you studied long time than only a few times, right? Which one is better? Yeah? If you study 10 hours and just study 2 hours, which one is better? 10 hours. 10 hours. Is ready of you? Oh, so no, for me, learning 2 hours is better than 10 hours. Yeah, is it? Oh, yeah. Study 10 hours, it will be better than 2 hours. Yeah. Understand?
Understood, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
Yeah, you're most welcome. Okay, another questions? Yeah. Okay, I think it's already our time is up actually. Yeah. Oh, we exceeding 15 minutes actually. Sorry, yeah, because so many questions. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think we finished today class. We dismiss our class. We meet again next week in the same time and in the same lab. Yeah. Okay, all of you. Yeah. See you next week. Yeah. Have a good night, all of you. Goodbye.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you,
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Sayang. Ini mama.
Excuse